Today we are making a rice vermicelli noodle bowl with peanut sauce. I know I say this all the time, but this is like legitimately my favorite recipe, especially in the summer. We eat this once or twice a week and we just kind of change up the vegetables sometimes. So it's super duper easy. Takes minutes to make this and you can have it food prepped and ready to go. So it's great for lunches, great just to keep in the fridge and like throw it all into a bowl and put some sauce on it and just munch on it whenever you're hungry. So to do this, we're gonna be using rice vermicelli noodles that I got at Superstore. Very cost effective, gluten-free, very easy to make. You don't have to cook them on the stove. So I have a quarter of the package here. That's all I have left. So I'm gonna make a quarter package. For a family of 4, you probably want to make a half a package, and for a family of 6, you probably want to make the whole package. It's going to make a lot of noodles, but trust me when I say you'll use them. So I'm going to drop my noodles into a bowl. I'm going to turn on my faucet, and when the water gets hot, I'm going to cover my noodles with the hot water until they're fully immersed. Noodles are in, give them a stir, keep an eye on them. Rice noodles cook super fast and they get mushy really easily, and that's gross. So there's lots of ways you can cook them. If you have an hour or 2 hours, you can actually just soak them in cold water for however long, and then you just kind of check on them regularly. We're gonna do it a bit quicker today, so we're gonna soak them in hot tap water. You can also use hot water from a kettle. You can boil a pot of water and dump it over top. Just keep an eye on them because, like I said, they cook really fast and you don't want them to get mushy. Some people boil water on the stove and cook them like similar to spaghetti noodles, so you drop them into a pot of boiling water. But I find when I do that, the noodles end up really mushy, and mushy noodles are gross, and we don't want that. So this is the way that works best for me, and it might just take you some trial and error to figure out which way works best for you. So while our noodles are cooking, I am going to prep all of our veggies. So I'm gonna have carrots, I'm gonna have cucumber, and I'm gonna have lettuce in my vermicelli bowl today. You can change that up. You can add red cabbage, you could use bok choy, you could use peppers, green peppers, red peppers. You literally could put anything in this bowl and cover it in peanut sauce, and it's gonna taste amazing. So these are the veggies I'm using today. The carrots I'm gonna prep super quick just by shredding them. And then the cucumber I'm gonna dice long. I'm gonna cut the seeds out and just dice them medium because I like them to be a bit chunkier in this recipe. Okay, now we're gonna make the sauce. Just gonna check on the noodles. They're still a bit firm. Just give them a stir. Okay, for the sauce, very easy to whip together this sauce. So in this bowl, I have a 3/4 cup of peanut butter. It's actually probably closer to a cup, but that's because I'm obsessed with peanut butter. So I like it really peanut buttery. Now to my peanut butter, I'm actually just gonna check and see how stirrable my peanut butter is. Actually, it's good. So if your peanut butter is too solid, it's gonna be really hard to whisk into a sauce. If that's the case, pop it into your microwave and it'll loosen it up. So I'm gonna add my soy sauce. I'm actually using tamari because it's gluten-free. Tamari can be a bit saltier than soy sauce, so I may have to sweeten it with a little bit of maple syrup. Doesn't call for a sweetener, but you can definitely sweeten to taste, especially if your peanut butter doesn't have any added sweeteners. So I'm gonna add a little bit of maple syrup. And I'm just gonna eyeball that. So probably I'm gonna do a tablespoon. And then I've got my limes. So the limes are gonna add the acid flavor to balance out your sauce. If you don't have access to limes, You can also use rice vinegar. That's a great substitute. If you don't have rice vinegar, probably white wine vinegar would be my next choice. That can work in place of rice vinegar. The limes are nice and fresh though. They add a really great flavor. So I'm just gonna squeeze out one of the limes, and then I'm gonna taste it and see where we're at. And if I don't use the other lime, I'm gonna cut it into wedges and serve it on the side of the bowl. People can squeeze the juice over their individual portion. Okay, and we're gonna add 1/3 cup of water just to thin this out. I would start with 1/3 cup, and then you can work your way up from there if you feel like you want it thinner. This bowl's way too small, so I have to very carefully thin this out. So my sauce is still a little bit thick. You kind of want it to be able to like drizzle over your bowl. So I'm gonna add a little more water. It's perfect. So you can see it's nice and drizzly. Tastes so good. It's perfectly balanced, so I'm not gonna add any more lime. I'm just gonna serve that on the side. In lieu of water, you can also thin this out with coconut milk, and it gives it a little bit of like, kind of more of a Thai flavor because it's got a little bit of a coconut flavor to it as well, and it's super delicious. So I like to make this in a big batch. This is a big batch, and keep it in my fridge, and we drizzle it over everything. So I'm gonna check on the noodles. And I'd say we're done. They're nice and tender, but not too tender. Because like I said, rice noodles get really soft really quickly. So I'm gonna drain and rinse those, and then we're gonna assemble our bowls. So again, you can tailor this bowl any way you want. Sesame seeds are good on this as well. If you want to add protein, there's quite a bit of protein in the peanut butter, but you can also add chicken. Tofu is great in this as well. If you saute some tofu or saute some chicken, put a bit of the peanut sauce in there while you're sauteing it, and then add that to your bowl as well. This is a super fantastic no-cook meal. You don't have to get your kitchen all hot in the summer. I hope you enjoy.